My name is Adesegun-David. Adesegun-David means Jesus has justified me, but people call me JD, and that's been, what people know me by for quite a while now. Name came from a mentor of mine, and then it just stuck. So I lead a company called Innovate Lab. It's an innovation hub based in Ogbomoso, Nigeria, and Innovate Lab is basically focused on transforming underserved university towns using technology, enterprise, and placemaking. We believe so strongly that, while you can change people's lives, the most important thing is actually to change communities as a whole. God led me to start a business, right? I felt like God was calling me to move into the marketplace at some critical juncture in my ministry. So I've been leading a campus ministry work, and that was going very beautifully well. And then at some point we had this conference that I felt was meant to be like the next step into more ministry work. And then, I was in a retreat, and God told me it's time to return to the marketplace. I was like, I've been out of this for quite a number of years. But then again, there were confirmations and there were counsels I received from people, mentors, and I took the leap. Yeah. One of the things that defines my work is the fact that I'm in a university community. And so I have access to a lot of young people. I'm discipling them, I'm helping them, I'm answering questions. And so at some point, many of those I had discipled and who had left university began to reach out to me to ask questions about their faith and their work. How do I integrate my faith and my work? And I did this for a while, but it also led me to ask questions from God. It led me back to the Bible. So, but all this time, I'd always been very interested in technology and innovation and how those things could be very instrumental to transforming communities. So basically, when the Lord asked me to return to the marketplace, I initially started, a writing company, and that's because I write well. So I felt, okay, this is a very easy one to do. And then after some months of doing that, the Lord said, no, that's not what I told you to do. And so He told me about the Innovation Hub. So basically, have a space, bring in people to come learn skills, digital skills, tech skills, entrepreneurial skills, and then also disciple them, right? So I would say because I was amongst young people, they asked questions. Also, Nigeria has a staggering challenge of unemployment, underemployment, and unemployability. So those three challenges as well, were instrumental in, realizing that indeed an innovation was the best way to go. And then the choice of technology is also very strategic, because technology has the lowest barrier of entry, particularly when it comes to things like, software engineering, design, and stuff like that, right? You don't need to have a lot of equipment. So technology and then entrepreneurship became like the major things we focused on as we built out the Innovation Hub. So when we started, we were just in a converted house, right? So basically in my town or the city I live in, there were not so many commercial buildings. So we had this apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment that we had to convert into an office. Small, where maybe about 3 people at the beginning, and then the numbers kept growing. At some point, people were kind of wondering why we're doing all the things we're doing, investing that much in the community. Because the idea was a lot of people would typically want to leave that community. So you could train people, and then after a while, they want to go somewhere else. But we've seen that irrespective of people leaving, yes, we've had people who left after we had trained them. Irrespective of that, they become ambassadors for what we do, right? So they leave, but then they keep talking about what we do, right? So between then, today is our 8th anniversary. We started out in November 4, 2017. So this is 8 years after we started. And between then and now, we've seen tremendous transformation happen in the community. We've seen jobs created, about 3,000 jobs created. And in Nigeria, if you get a job, it's you have about 4 dependents to 5 dependents who actually benefit from the job you've gotten. So that's about 15,000 people impacted, right, indirectly. We've had other companies started. We've had people, begin to believe that they could actually also transform their communities. So we've seen a whole lot of that. And recently we got a building, right, that now allows us to do the things we want to really do at scale. I mean, it could accommodate hundreds at a time. So Paul said, I press on to apprehend Christ for that which has apprehended me, right? I feel like my satisfaction is not something external. It is Christ. And it is when he says, well done, that I feel like I'm done, right? So I would say that's like the most important conviction that keeps driving me. That's the important motivation. I mean, sometimes a lot of these things we do are thankless, right? People do not see what to appreciate you about, when you do all these things. But knowing that Jesus, right, is the one who has called me and is leading me on, and then when I'm done, he's going to tell me, well done. So I think that's the major motivation for me. Because numbers sometimes could also be like surface, right? Because you could have the numbers and yet the lives behind the numbers do not actually match up with the numbers, right? So I just feel like he's the one who sees both the external and the internal. So he knows what it means to succeed, actually. So in 10 years' time, I want to see, so we did some research 2 years ago about how many other places look like Ogbomoso where we work in Africa. And we found out there are about 305 of them. In 10 years' time, I really want to see what we do in Ogbomoso replicated in all those 305 places across Africa. I want to see people who commit to their places, who commit to their cities for the long term. I want to see people who have come to feel at home with timelines like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and saying, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to work, partner with God until I see this place transform, right? So I think that's the biggest impact goal I'm looking out for. The most important detail when I first came across branches was the 30-year commitment. 30 years suddenly, jumped at me as something I've been trying to articulate and talk about before. I talked about, long timelines, right? Particularly off the back of Eugene B. Peterson's book's title, A Long Obedience in the Same Direction. So I'd been meditating on that particular statement, and then I came across branches with a 30-year timeline, and I felt, yes, this is it. And so branches has helped me get more comfortable with that long time horizon. And I'm able to speak about it with other people, knowing that there is this organization that has chosen to work with me for 30 years, right? So for where I live and where I work, that timeline is a game changer, or timelines like that are game changers. Because a lot of times people just focus on short-term things, short-term goals, short-term events, short-term outcomes. And so to actually move people from short-term outlooks to long-term outlooks is a breakthrough. So that has shaped how we do business. That has made people come into Ogbomoso, for instance, to decide that they're going to build and they're going to stay for the long term. And so there's a revolution going on, right, in the hearts of people, where they begin to see that I can stay with something God has given me for a long period of time. So Branches has done that, for us. Branches has done that for me. At the same time as well, mentorship community, also support financially, have been ways Branches has also benefited.